All right, we are live. Hello, world of YouTube. I am Ty Johnston. I'm the Dungeon Master tonight for another Dungeons & Dragons gaming session of the Unnamed Adventurers Guild. And right now I've got 3 players bringing characters into action, and we'll start off with introductions of them. Christopher, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Store Blackman. Uh, he have a silver, yeah, there must be a silver pipe now with a silver chain to his arm, and he have a fully plate armor right now, and he have a crown with a fucking dragon tooth, and yeah, that's probably him with a bit beer, and he like to fight.
Okay.
You want to know more?
No, that's fine, unless you've got more you want to add. But all of our players tonight are
Yeah,
veterans.
he is kind of sad because his mom died.
Yeah, that's understandable. Next up, we've got Matthew Taylor.
I'm playing the Wood Elf Elwyn. He's a monk who I think I've explained it enough times. I don't really have to go through his origins every single time. Yeah, he doesn't really change out what he wears because monks really don't wear anything besides normal clothes or what they wear to train because they don't really feel the need for armor because they hone their body. So really all he's wearing is just common clothes, and then he has his stuff. Just
Yeah.
always trading, always fighting.
Is he loaded down with healing potions now?
Not even close.
No? Okay. And next up, we've got Matt in the Hat.
Well, I'm not in a hat today because I'm not DMing, but
okay.
I'm only DM Matt in the Hat.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I'm Matt, and today I am playing Cajun Moonseeker. He is a druid of the land, but he is a shifter, so he takes on animalistic traits. He looks mostly human, but with hair all over his skin. But when he's shifting, he looks more like certain creatures that he has studied before. As a shifter, they often, especially druids, shy away a little bit from staying too long in other animals' forms because their heritage, their blood, sort of makes them a little bit ragey the longer that they're in form, and historically, that's what sort of sent them over the cliff, so to speak, as a race, and then they discovered that if they actually spent less time in those forms, that they could actually temper themselves. And so Cajun is a spellcaster. He studies the patterns of the moon, and I guess he uses the knowledge that the shamans of old have taught him, though he will shift into animal forms briefly if absolutely necessary. His thing is using the power of the moon to affect the tides of battle. He's not really a fighter, so to speak, but he will fight. And in this case, being that he has stood side by side with Storr and established a new wing with the guild, he doesn't want to see that perish and go away. And so he's going to stand and fight for the guild today.
Well, thank you, everybody. Okay, a little backstory here for those who might know. The guild has been involved in not only a lawsuit, but various criminal charges were filed against the guild by a lawyer because of some things that happened in an adventure a while back. This attorney's name is Tannister. Well, Tannister has been arrested and been in prison because it was discovered during an adventure that Tannister had dealings with the former Dark Queen, who was terrorizing the countryside for a good while there. And after several adventures and court cases, and it's finally come down to tonight. Tannister has asked for a judicial duel, and the judges in his case and in the cases of charges against the guild have agreed that that's a good idea, except Tannister himself and the guild leaders are not allowed to take part in the actual duel since they are prime suspects in everything that's been going on. So we've basically got an arena fight, a legal arena fight, and I'll start with you three guys sort of on the street or however you want to walk up to where the arena is. Guild leaders Pincus and Federo and Adelaide have told you they will definitely be there. And as you approach the arena from any direction really, there's a sold-out crowd. I mean, the arena is packed, and there's people lined up to get in. There's people out in the streets selling drinks, selling T-shirts with stores picture on it. I mean, there's all kinds of little jewelry and things being sold. It's just a huge turnout. It's turned into a festival. There's people who are pro-guild and some people who are anti-guild and some people who are just trying to make a quick buck anyhow that they can. So you might find a little button or something that says "Yay Guild," and you might another one that says "Down with the Guild" or things like that. So there's a lot of money changing hands today, which could be another reason why the judges agreed to this, because it would be a big money maker for the city. As you guys are nearing the guild or nearing the arena, guild leader Federo will come out of the crowd and approach you guys and thank you for being here. I'm glad to see some of you showed up to help defend the guild today. You'll follow me. I'll take you to the waiting area where you can get ready, and we've got a few presents for you before you have to enter the combat field.
Okay.
Ooh, presents.
He'll lead you through the crowd, and at some point as you get closer to the building, he'll kind of motion to a couple of city guards who will actually come over to help part the crowd so you all can get through. At first, people didn't seem to realize who you were, but once, like I said, you're closer to the building, people start catching on, especially when you get sort of a city guard escort a little bit. And people start yelling at you and waving at you. Some of them are flipping you off, maybe even spitting in your direction. It's just all a mix of good and bad. But you can get through. People will let you through with the guards and Federal pushing through. And they take you inside the arena building, and you go through a couple. It's dark in there, but there's some torches lit. You go through some halls, and finally you get to a square room that's about 20 by 20. There's benches in there to sit on and a few tables. And there's some food laid out, nothing too fancy, but if you want something, there's even a little bit of wine and water. There's even whetstones there if you need to sharpen any weapons up or anything like that. And Pincus is also there, the gnome who's a guild leader. And when you guys come in, Pincus is holding 3 bracelets, and he will offer one to each of you. And I don't know if you guys have been members of the guild long enough to have seen these before, but because they've not been used in a while, but Pincus will explain I'll have to go into some gaming terms, meta a little bit. But these bracelets, in the back of them are 3 gems. And each time you touch a gem, you gain hit points equal to a healing potion. And you can do this as a bonus action. So basically, you've got 3 free healing potions on your hand, like I said, that you can use. Just hit it as a bonus action, hit a gem as a bonus action, and it'll flood. It floods your system. Now, you can only do 1 gem at a time. You can't, like, hit all 3 and suddenly. And another nice feature about these bracelets is that if someone is wearing it and they go down, someone else can run up to them and push the gem on their bracelet, and the down person will get hit points.
Is that also a bonus action?
Yeah, well, as long as you're there, it would be a bonus action if you don't have to move to them. But yeah, if you're just standing there next to them, you can reach down and tap it.
Can I tap it with my pike?
Put it on your pike. You could. It probably wouldn't do as well. It probably wouldn't give you the healing ability.
Okay.
So you want it on yourself somewhere. But do keep in mind these things are magic, and they'll be needed back because they'll have to be recharged. They're sort of guild property. And also, Tinkus will apologize that well, he'll say the way the rules are, we are allowed to cast protective spells over you before combat starts. But unfortunately, all of my spells are concentration, which means I wouldn't be allowed to continue them once the horns blow and the fight starts. That wouldn't be allowed, so I don't have anything. But Federo can cast an aid spell on you guys, and he will do so at this time. Take a few seconds to do it. And each of you now, for the next 8 hours, each of you has 10 extra hit points.
Temporary?
And no, these are not temporary hit points. You only have them for 8 hours, but you add these onto your regular hit points. So if you lose them and then get some healing, you can get those 10 back, at least for the next 8 hours.
Sure.
Awesome.
So, but no, they don't operate as temporary hit points as far as the technical term goes. But so you've got that for 8 hours. As far as who you'll be facing, they don't know a lot. There have been rumors of some heavily armored figures, but other than that, they don't know for sure yet who or what you'll be fighting. And
Ty?
yeah,
Just before we get too far in, before we get in there, I have hired some painter to paint the fights. How much? Paint the fight, so we have some pictures of how bravely we are.
Oh, okay, okay.
How much do that
And
cost?
like
So you're wanting like a big painting?
Yeah, like maybe like 10 feet by 10 feet.
Okay. The guild masters kind of look at each other, but they'll find somebody who can do that.
Okay.
Maybe
And
they
be
can.
in the center. I need to be in the center is my criteria.
Okay. Now, do you want this painting for yourself, or do you want us to hang it up at the guild hall, or what?
The guild hall.
The guild hall. Okay. Maybe we can hang it up in your mother's wing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always
and are you going to be paying for that monstrosity?
the guild. Nah.
Oh, wait a second. Okay.
I don't pay.
Federo make you a deal. He's like, okay, you guys survive. We were going to pay you 100 gold each if you survive and win, which you're going to. Come on. So instead of the 100 gold, what if we take care of the painter for you?
Holy crap.
That seems fair.
I
Seems fair.
need to look very powerful and mighty and bright in the painting.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, okay. That's
of
fine.
course.
And I
Okay.
want a copy for myself.
We'll get an original and then we'll magic you a copy somehow.
Yeah.
That would be easier. Okay, we'll do that.
Are we in like a dressing room like area that's
Kind of.
okay? I want to ditch all my stuff because I have my character is a hermit, so he tends to take all his stuff with him. So he's carrying stuff like he has a winter blanket on him right now that he doesn't really need. So he's gonna drop all his stuff. He's gonna put his all the healing potions he has in a belt pouch that has his gold in it, and he's gonna keep that on him with his short sword, and he's also is there a way for him to carry his darts without really carrying his backpack?
You could. It might take a little knife work, but you could maybe take a belt and like cut little sort of creases or holes in the belt to put him through that.
Can I use my good jewelry tools to make the belt so he to use the darts? Or is that only to metal?
You could, but they might be damaged if the fight.
But I have to do them fancy. It's up to you.
Would either of the spellcasters, like Occasion would have this personal request, be able to please cast Detect Poison? Because we've been told previously that if there's any poison that's detected, it's an immediate forfeit. So I want to make sure that no one's like snuck poison into any of our packs, like against our will, and make sure that that's not going to be a problem. Could one of the spellcasters do that, or could I maybe buy a spell scroll to make sure of that, please?
They can do that and are willing to do it, but Detect Magic won't necessarily pick up a poison unless it's a
No, Detect Poison.
Oh, okay.
Detect Poison.
Okay. Yeah, they can do that. They'll.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Cajun's really worried that perhaps because these people haven't been nice at all, maybe they've snuck into just some poison into our packs, just so that it would be an instant forfeit on our behalf.
Federa will cast Detect Poison, and so does anyone have any poison on them? Store?
Not that I know of.
I'm not a poison yet.
Okay.
I'm not of it yet.
There are no unknown poisons that show up among your all's gear.
Oh, good.
So that's a thing. That's smart thinking, though. I hadn't thought of that one. That's good.
Well, he's just like he hasn't been a part of I haven't been a part of any of these dealings with these people, but I've heard a lot from the guild and from what I've heard they're really not very nice people.
No, they're not, and not above trickery in a lot of ways.
Yeah, underhanded. So yeah, that's why Occasion was a little bit why I was a little bit worried. But yeah. That's good. I sort of sigh a breath of relief.
Outside, a horn will blow, and Federal will say, "That's the 10-minute mark. We've got 10 minutes." And there are two heavy doors at the other end, and he'll point to that and say, when the next horn blows in 10 minutes, you'll go through those doors, and there's a hallway, and that will take you out onto the battlefield. And just so you'll know what's out there, it's about 100 feet wide by about 200 feet long, And for today's fight, it is just flat sand. There's no animals, there's no columns or anything like that. It's just an open area of flat sand.
How many fights do we have?
It depends on the time of year. Really, there's kind of a season for it. Usually the spring and the summer, maybe kind of like, well, I don't know if you would know, but kind of like baseball season. They start in the spring and run through the summer and into the early fall. They usually don't. And it's usually on weekends. They also occasionally there are judicial duels like this one, but they're very rare anymore. And every now and then there are, when someone wealthy pays for it, there will be like a celebration duel or a funeral duel with usually a bunch of like gladiator types are brought out to put on a fight. And most of these fights are not generally to the death. I mean, even technically, just to be clear, even technically, today's fight is not necessarily to the death. It's to the last people standing. I mean, so
Okay.
theoretically, you could win or lose and not die, you know.
So if
Theoretically,
I understand right,
I could just keep doing non-lethal damage until they fall unconscious, and we would win.
Technically, yes.
they just need to be down. So
And
technically, I can make a prone and we win.
well, they have to be out. I mean, they can't,
Okay.
you know, be able to get back up. Yeah, this isn't like just wrestling where you pin them. They have to be down for like pretty good down.
Okay.
They have to be unconscious at least.
Yeah.
And again, yes, if some, you know, there are a few ways to cheat. The poison was brought up. If that came up, then there would be a disqualification.
Is it possible to get a quiver that I can just keep the darts in?
Yeah, they can find you that. I mean, that's actually easy.
Well, look who joined at the last second. The 10-minute horn just ran.
Is it Daryl?
Yes.
Who are you playing tonight?
I will be playing Rylar.
Is he new?
Yeah, he's the cleric that I played in the last game.
Okay. What's real quick? What's his race?
He's a half elf.
Okay, and his armor class?
Armor class of 17, sir.
Okay, passive perception?
Is 15.
Okay, and hit points?
9.
9.
Okay, he should be second level now. If he's played before in the guild, even one adventure, he'll be second level now.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if you want to up him real quick, you can.
Just roll a d8 and add that plus your constitution.
Or 7. Or 10. What is that? 5 plus your turn?
And Rylar basically goes to the arena and will be joining these three in sort of a small waiting room, kind of like a closed changing room or whatever. And two of the guild leaders are there, Federo, who's a human cleric, and Pincus, who is a gnome spellcaster. And they were just going over a few things. And the fight's getting ready to start because a horn just sounded a few minutes ago outside. And Rylar will also be given a bracelet, and on this bracelet are 3 gems. And every time you touch one of these gems, you will gain hit points equivalent to a healing potion.
Oh,
and
okay.
and you can do that as a bonus action. So you can spend a bonus action to hit one of the gems, and it floods your system.
Okay. New hit point total is 16.
Okay.
And for today, you also have the aid spell that was cast on us by one of the guild masters, and that gives you an extra 10 hit points for 8 hours. They're not temporary, so they can be refreshed. So for today, you'll have 26.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, Federal will cast that again. He can only cast it on 3 people at a time, but when you show up, he can cast it again. It'll be on you. So basically, there's 4 of you, and Pincus rushes off to inform. There will be not like judicial judges, but there will be combat judges who will be watching this. And some of them are spellcasters, and they will be watching out for any kind of cheating that goes on. The only magic allowed is that which is on the field. So if anyone like in the stands tries to help or hinder in any way with magic, the other side there will be an automatic forfeit depending on how the judges rule. And I mean, there are other, not just magic, but there's other things, like if somebody with a bow tries to shoot in the audience with a bow, like tried to shoot somebody. If there's any outside interference, it will bring about a forfeit.
Ty,
Yes.
can I bet on we gonna win?
Do I?
Can I bet on we gonna win?
Can you bet?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, sure. They can find you a bookie.
I bet all what I own. 61 gold and 7 color.
Okay.
They'll go. Federal will rush out and bring back a young man named Tyler. He's kind of dressed like a well-to-do peasant. He's human, and apparently he was passing out betting slips out in the hallway. And Tyler's pretty young. He's about 18 years old. And he sees you guys and kind of gets excited. And he's like, "I hear somebody wanted to place a bet."
Yeah, me.
Oh, okay. How much do you want to bet?
61 gold and 7 color pieces.
And 7
Of the boss.
Let me see. Let me figure it out. He actually takes out a small abacus and starts running things back and forth. He's like, "Okay, with that, I take it you're betting on your side."
Yeah, and my knee hurts.
Oh, your knee hurts?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. All right, if you win, you'll get back 217 gold and 14 copper.
Yeah, I don't bet it.
If you lose, you'll be dead.
Yeah.
And
So
I'll be
nothing to lose.
and I'll be 61 gold pieces richer and 7 copper. So he'll take your money. Anybody else want to bet?
No, thank you.
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck.
Can
How
I
many-
find out?
He'll give you a little sheet of paper, like with how much you gave him on it, and he'll write his
Okay.
name on it.
Okay.
Basically, it's a betting slip.
I don't remember his face.
Okay. That's all right. As he leaves, Pincus will actually go with him and say, "Let me talk to you for a second." All right. And you can also, even where you're at, you're in an enclosed room with like brick walls. You can still tell that it's really loud outside. You can hear people chanting and yelling, and I mean, the whole building is kind of shaking. People are stomping their feet and that sort of thing. Oh, and just to make clear, Daryl, Rylar doesn't have any kind of poisons on him, does he?
No.
Okay, you're safe then. The horns sound again, and Federo wishes you guys luck, and he and the other guild leaders and some members will be watching from above, and he motions towards the doors that will take you out to the arena, and he'll actually pull them open for you. And you can see through the doors is a long hall. It's about 50 feet long, and it's totally dark in there, but there's still plenty of light. There's some light from your end, but the other end, there's plenty of light because it's obviously daylight. And you can see it opens up into, even from where you're at, you can see it opens up into a large open area because you can see the sand floor from there even. Does everybody go through, I take it?
Yeah.
Yep.
As each of you walks through, Federo will kind of give a quick blessing sort of thing to you. And he says, I'll be praying for each and every one of you. And then once you're through, he'll close the doors and he goes on his way. As you guys come forward, it gets louder and louder and louder. And when you step out into the light, again, it's, you know what an arena looks like. It's like Roman Colosseum. From where you're at, it's about 100 feet across, and you see another opening identical to the one you just come through, just a dark curved hallway. It's 100 feet across, and the arena is about 200 feet long, so about 50 feet to your right and 50 feet to your left. You're right in the middle of it. And there are literally thousands of people here. As soon as they see you, people start going crazy. You can see about halfway up the rows of seats. There are specialty boxes. There are usually guards around those. Some of them are just like local wealthy people. But one sort of above and behind you, you can see Pincus is now in it and Federo is coming into it. And for those of you who have met him, you see a special box that actually has Canister in it, the attorney who brought about all of this mess. He's in long robes, and his hands are shackled. He's got a little thin black mustache and not a whole lot of hair. And he's sitting by himself in a box, but the box is surrounded by city guards with clubs. And every one of them is keeping an eye on him. Directly across from you, where you see the other opening at, suddenly, right after you all step out, 4 other figures step out from over there. And they are all identical. They are heavy plate mail, head to toe, with helmets, with full helms on, so you can't see their features or what race they are necessarily. They're all about 6 feet, so they're about human size, and they're kind of big and bulky. Besides their full plate, each of them is carrying a spiked mace in his or her right hand, and also on their backs in scabbards are longswords. And they stand there for a moment, and they're not really looking around. They're all looking straight ahead at you. And a figure stands up in the crowd. He's dressed in long golden robes, and he's holding a large staff with kind of a banner at the end of it. And he holds it up, and he'll yell, "Are all of you ready to fight?"
I got a question for you, Ty.
Okay.
The bracelets, they act as a cure potion or a cure spell?
Potion.
Okay. Because I know potions and spell have different dice.
Okay, yeah, it acts as the potion.
Okay.
Which I believe is 2d8 plus 2, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
2d4 plus 2.
Is it
It's a
2d4
normal
plus
healing
2?
potion.
Yeah.
Well,
1d8 is spell, 2d4 is potion.
okay, 2d4 then.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, 2d4 plus 2. I had it written down wrong. So he'll basically, this sort of wildly dressed in flowing golden robes figure with a big hat and this staff with a flag, golden flag from it, he will sort of shout down to you all, "Are you ready to fight?" He's like, "The rules have been explained to the crowd. Are you all ready to go?"
Yep.
I'm gonna raise my pike up and signal I'm ready to fight.
Your four armored enemies seem to ignore him. They don't say anything. They're just standing there. And he waits for a second as if he's expecting some response from them. And when he sees none, he will say, "Well, lay on then. For those about to die, we salute you." He sits down and the horns sound again. Your enemies have not moved. So what are you all doing?
I am going to cast Bark Skin on myself. And what that will do, effectively, is change my armor class to 16, I believe. Let me double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it'll do.
I'm gonna try to sit around them.
So is Cajun's armor class, is that with a shield or without a shield? It's 16.
Let me just double check because I think I'm just going to read it out here. Okay, you touch a willing creature, myself, till the spell ends, the target's skin is rough. The target's AC can't be less than 16, regardless of what kind of armor it is wearing. So it's minimum 16 with my shield. It'll be another 2. So 18 with my shield. I'll change that in my lower third for you.
Okay.
16 and 18 now.
All right. I'm going to write that down. And what was Store was doing something?
Try to sit around. No, fuck it. I'm gonna run straight ahead.
You're going to run straight ahead. Okay. So it's
Yeah.
about 100 feet. So
Yeah.
are you just going to cover 30 feet, or are you going to do dash and cover
60.
more? 60?
50. Yeah.
Okay.
So how far away are they?
100 feet.
100 feet. So
Store has just moved 60. I'll go into rounds soon. I'm just not yet because they're actually not doing anything as far as you can tell anyway.
Yeah, I would move with Store as well as the Buckskin, so like I'm not just gonna stand there. So I wouldn't move 60 though. I can only move 30, so at least be somewhat close.
Okay.
I'm going to use my standard move action just to move 40 feet. And I'm just going to stand there watching them.
Okay. Is Rylar doing anything?
No, Rylar is just gonna just sit back and observe also. This is definitely a very tense situation, and he's just trying to figure things out.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and roll for initiatives then. You guys kind of sort of got a free action there in a way.
Alright, sorry. Initiative. Okay. Okay. Next.
Okay. What is Kaijin's dexterity?
12.
Store, what's your dexterity?
Me too. 12.
It's alright, he
Okay.
can go before me.
Okay.
I'm a reactive fighter more than an offensive one, so.
Okay, well, the good news is all of you get to go before the bad guys do. So, Elwin, it's your turn. You're 40 feet out, still 60 feet from them. They've not done anything yet.
I'm going to look at them and see if they're actual beings or just constructs of magic.
Give me a insight roll, I suppose. I'll let you use perception if you would rather. Either one.
I'll use perception because that's what I'm good at, and I got a 17.
Well, you're not detecting magic, obviously, but you do not see anyone within the suits of armor. Like where the visors are, the slits are in the helmets, you do not see eyes inside of that. From what little movement you saw them do earlier, it was a little jerky. It didn't look like the natural walk of people. If you had to guess, you would say there is no living being inside these suits of armor.
I say to Store, can you knock their helmets off for me?
Okay.
Is
Can
there
you decapitate them?
anything else Elwin wants to do right now?
Nope. He's waiting to see what's underneath the helmets before he tries to do anything.
Rylar, it's your turn.
All right. Let's see. I am going to do Sacred Flame on one of them.
Okay. What's the DC save on that?
13 dex.
He did not make it.
Right. Damage incoming of... Oh, got full damage on that one. That'll be 8 radiant damage, sir.
Okay. It does appear to take the damage from, especially since Elwin's interested. I mean, it kind of shudders a little bit and the armor's scorched, so it does appear like it took some damage. Store, it's now your turn.
Yeah.
You're 40 feet out from them.
I've done 40 feet.
Yes, you're 40 feet from them.
So I can move 30 and I'm 10 feet away.
Yes.
I'm gonna run 30 and I'm gonna jump in my 30 feet and hit with my pipe.
Give me an athletics roll.
Okay. Oh my god. Need to roll for everything. That is 19.
Okay. You're trying to hit one. Any particular one?
No.
Give me a roll to hit, but it's going to be at disadvantage.
So sad. That doesn't matter. I have 20 modified.
That'll hit.
And I'm gonna use my disarm attack to try to knock off the helmet. Can I do that?
Sure, I'll let you do that since you hit.
Okay. And fuck! I forgot something. Oh, that's fine. I need to roll a d10 plus a d8. That is 12, 16 piercing damage.
Okay.
and this my spear is silver tipped, so I don't know about that have any effect.
It doesn't have any special effect on him.
Ah,
You
Uh,
hit. Go ahead.
Silver really only is. There are some enemies that don't take damage from normal weapons, so if you hit them with silver,
yeah, that's
it
why.
cuts through their
Yeah,
magic.
Yeah, that's why I
it didn't
just
seem to do anything special to them, but
I
just for ease sake, I'm going to say you hit the one that got burnt a little bit by Rylar's magic.
Yeah.
You hit him,
And
and you do knock his helmet off. And there's no one there. There's no face. The figure is still standing there, but there's no head underneath the helmet. Let me put it that way.
if I was to, from the from their side of the field, looking at us, number the combatants 1 on the left through to 4 on the right, which one has been hurt?
1.
Okay. Thank you. As yeah, occasionally keep track of.
It's actually your turn now, so.
All right. I'll keep track of that for us. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sweet. Okay. And okay. So what I'm gonna do is this like an open-topped arena, and is it like the middle of the day?
It is, yes, to both of those.
Okay. Cool. Let me double check that I can do this then. I'm pretty sure I can. But I, want to be sure that I'm obeying the rules. Yes. Okay. So what happens is, it's the middle of the day, and Cajun will, I will lift my hands up into the air. I'm going to move a little bit as well. I'll move to like halfway, so that I'm halfway up the field, so I'm 50 feet from either side.
Okay.
So that's only 20 feet of my movement to do that. And then, yeah, I lift my hands up into the air, and I gesture at the sun, and I throw my hands out to the horizons, and I twist my fingers and my palms, and then throw one hand over to the other side, and it looks like I'm grabbing something on the horizon, and I pull. This is just a visual effect. I pull the moon, what looks like the moon, away, like up into the air, and a beam of light shines from that location onto the field, onto where the number 1 is. It's a 5-foot radius, so it'll just like hit him. It's 40 feet high, and it's this beam. It's like a spotlight, but it's coming from this moon, and it's shining directly on him.
Okay.
And I'm casting the moon beam. He has to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
He got a 17.
That is a pass, so he takes half damage.
Okay.
Let me just roll that for you. Clear that. So he takes half of 12, so he takes 6 damage. And that is, pretty sure it's radiant. Let me. Radiant damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
The headless figure staggers when it's hit with this, but it does not fall, and then it straightens itself back up.
Yeah, and pretty much until I end my concentration, the beam can move and stuff if I move it on my turn. So for now, it's centered on him, And that will be my round. I'm halfway through the battlefield.
And you say that's a 5-foot radius?
It's a 5-foot radius, yes.
And it's centered on him.
Correct.
Okay. All right, it is now their go. And since Store is right up front there by his lonesome self, all 4 of these figures stomp forward 10 feet with maces raised, and each of them gets 2 attacks on Store. So, Store's armor class is
18.
18. Well, there's 2 misses from the first guy, 2 misses from the second guy, 1 hit from the third guy, and 2 hits from the fourth guy. So, for a total of 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
13?
13.
Already.
And as soon as they are done doing that, they each get 2 attacks with their studded maces. The swords that are on their backs, suddenly on their own, those swords fly up out of the scabbards about 10 feet above the knights. And Matt, just for your sake, the one sword that was from the damaged armored figure, that sword actually does look a little tattered, like it took some damage as well. And then each of those 4 swords will die down, and each of them gets 1 attack on Store.
Wow, Store.
And there will be 2 more hits. For 7 points of slashing damage. So now it will be the top of the round, and it will be Aylwin's turn. And just Store's there with 4 armored figures and 4 flying swords that are all whacking away at him.
Just so that we're fully aware, are they still in a line? I mean, Store's only 5 feet, so like has one kind of gone around, or have 2 like gone around to his sides? Like, how is it?
Yeah, there are sort of 2 in front of him, and then on either side of it's sort of like a slight curve shape. There's like 2 in front of him, and then there's sort of 1 on either side of it.
Yep, got it.
And the swords are sort of in the same positions above the armored figures. They hit and then fly back up.
All right, not a problem. Thank you.
Okay, Aylwin, it is your turn.
I yelled to the judge, saying, I see no caster on the field, which means these living armor are being controlled outside the field of battle. Does that mean they lose?
As you yell this, even really before you yell it, you can see the box seat where there are several judges. You can tell by robes and these squarish hats they have on. They are all suddenly deeply in conversation amongst themselves. But it's going to take a little bit of time for them to come to some conclusion. I mean, maybe not long, but keep in mind a round's only 6 seconds. So they're having a conversation. It looks like one of them is maybe casting something. So that's basically just talking. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
So, are they talking to themselves, just ignoring the fight, or are they talking?
No, they're kind of keeping an eye on the fight, but they're sort of huddled in a group, like 3 or 4 of these robed figures, and they keep glancing over at the fight. I mean, they're talking quickly, but still, it's going to take a little time for them to come to some conclusion.
Let's see. I am going to move Let's see. I'm 60 feet away, so I want to move another 40 feet up, which puts me 20 feet away, and I'm going to throw a dart at one of them, at the damaged one,
Okay.
which minimum range is 20 feet, and I'm 20 feet away. Oh, that's not going to hit. That's a 9.
Okay. Yeah, that'll go flying between them. Rylar, it's now your go.
All right. Looking at the assault that just happened to the other fighter, how is he looking? Like, is he bleeding from everywhere, or is he still look like he's still pretty much in the fight?
I'm not bloody if you ask for that.
He took some hits, but he's not looking too bad.
Okay.
So Store's pretty sturdy.
Okay. Well, I'm going to advance another 20 feet, and I will go with another Sacred Flame. Hopefully I can hit again.
Okay, you going for the same one?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the DC on that?
That'll be a Dex DC of 13, sir.
He did not make it.
Okay. Damage incoming of... now I went down to the other edge of the spectrum. 2 points of radiant damage, sir.
Okay. So Flame comes down and hits him. He's still standing. All right. Store, now it's your turn. You've got plenty of targets.
I try to target the sword from the damaged one.
The damaged sword.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll the hit. It's within range of you. It's just...
Yeah. 20.
That'll hit.
I'm gonna use my... Can I disarm the sword?
It's just floating by itself. No.
I'm just going to suggest you don't waste one of your abilities on it. I just roll for damage.
Okay. That's 2.
That just means
God.
the DM being nice.
Man. I forgot to use my bonus action. No, that doesn't matter. That must be about 18 damage.
Oh, yeah. Plus you rolled a 20, so.
No, that is the two d10s.
Oh, okay. Well, the sword pretty much shatters in air, and its pieces drop to the ground.
Okay. What about the guy?
The guy's still barely standing on his feet.
Okay. I'm gonna use my divine favor. I forgot to use that first. That only give me a plus d4 to damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna attack the damage die with my action surge.
Okay.
And I roll a 3. So
that
that's
one will, yeah, that one will be a miss.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you've got like a plus 15 to hit.
I can get that, but no.
We're not playing 3rd edition. Yeah. Okay, Matt, your guy's up.
Sure. So I'm going to use my action to move my beam, and what I want it to do, let's see. 1 second here. I can move the beam 60 feet in any direction. I'm guessing it's just one direction. So what I want to do is I want to catch at least 2 in like a diagonal straight line.
Okay.
If I can, please.
You can do that. Do you want it to be one of those two to be the wounded one?
Yes, yeah, I'll throw it in that direction. We need
Okay.
to try and get less combatants. So yeah, I'm going to hit that one and the one that's kind of adjacent to it in a straight line. And again, both of them need to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Okay.
And the beam will just like pass through, like past them, like over them, and then we'll be on the other side of them. If
Okay.
that makes sense.
Question
Yes.
to clarify something. This beam, is it coming straight down from above, or is it coming like from your direction?
It's a column.
It's a column from above.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is. Okay. It's also. Does the spell description give a height for this beam?
40 feet.
So it's 40 feet tall. Okay. Well, then not only would you catch two of the knights, you would also catch two of the swords, because the swords are pretty much floating around about 10 feet above the knights' heads.
So all of those need to make Constitution saving throws.
What's the DC on those?
13.
Okay. Well, both the knights failed, and both swords made it.
Okay, so the swords take 7 damage,
Okay.
and the knights take 14 each.
Okay, the one knight who had been damaged before, he just falls apart. The armor just crumbles into pieces.
Yeah, so how I'm envisioning this, on top of the 40 feet, there's like this little conjured moon. It looks exactly like the moon, except it's like just a small version, and that's what this beam is coming out of this. So yeah, and on my as a bonus action, I'm gonna just cast Shillelagh, which is a cantrip. So I can on my quarterstaff just in case, but I'm still only like halfway down the field. But just in case something comes into melee, at least I've got some sort of fighting capability. But I'm still concentrating on that beam. So that's my turn for now.
Okay. It is the bad guys' turn again. That includes 3 knights who are each going to take 2 swipes at Store. The first one gets a natural 20, but misses with the other one. The second armored figure misses with both his attacks, and the third one misses with both his attacks. So from that, Store takes a total of 7 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
Now there are 3 flying swords still, which will fly down and try to hit him. One's going to hit, and the other one's going to miss. So he takes another 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And now, Aelwyn, it's your turn again.
Is there any reaction from the judge?
You see one of them run off, working his way through rows of people towards some other official-looking folks.
Okay. 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 So the one I'm gonna go to the one up onto the other side of Store. So he has two in front of him. I'm gonna go to the one to the other side.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be the armor is facing Store. I'm going to be to his left. and I'm gonna Fury of Blows.
Okay.
And if I hit, then I'm doing a push. No, wait, I'm not gonna do a push. I'm gonna do a, a basically trying to bring up
You
exactly what it is.
can knock it prone.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna knock it prone.
Okay.
Cool.
Is I have to hit it first before I can make a dexterity save. I the the first one was a 24, the second one was a 7, and the third one was a 15.
The first one hit.
7 bashing, and
Okay.
DC 13 on the dex save.
He does not make it. So you knock him on his back.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Rylar, it's your go.
All right. Rylar will put his hands into a prayer and asks his god Ilmatar or Ilmater, as some people pronounce it. I don't know how people pronounce it around here. And I will do Sacred Flame for my actual action, and then after that, I will cast a Shield of Faith on the odd-looking character, agile character that's moved into the fray. So DC dex save of 13 for you, sir.
Okay. Does not make it.
All right. Damage incoming of wow, one point of damage. Yes. Ooh. And a shimmering field of light encompasses the Aelwyn, and he gets 2 to his armor class.
All right. Store, it's your turn. You still got 3 armored figures. One of them is in real bad shape. Another one is on his back next to you. But Aelwyn seems to be handling him. And then you still got 3 swords flying around above your head.
Yeah. I gonna push my bracelets first.
Okay.
Is that 2 to 4 plus something?
Plus 2.
I did 9.
Okay.
And I gonna, yeah, I need to make sure I gonna hit, so I gonna take the downer one and pike him.
The one that's prone?
And I'm gonna take the damage one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And try to hit him. That is 20, modified 20.
That'll hit.
And yeah, I'm gonna disarm him.
Okay.
So that is a DC of 14 strength.
The mace goes flying out of his hands.
Okay. And I roll 2s. A lot of 2s. I don't reroll. I have a question. Do my driven weapon fighter, let's say I have to roll a 1 and a 2 on my damage roll? Can I do all my dice like that?
No, just do your
no,
weapon
just
dice.
normal. Yeah.
Yeah, just a weapon.
Oh, so sad. But that is 18 damage. and 2 of those are ready.
You knock the mace out of his hand and pretty much take the whole arm off with it, and then he goes
They're
down.
used to disarming people.
All right, is there Shifter's turn now?
All right. So that one would have been number 2.
Yeah.
Would it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's a little unfortunate. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, that's pretty much the only direction I can take my beam at this stage without actually hurting Store. And I don't really want to hurt Store. So
Okay.
I'm going to take my beam back in a diagonal line so that it's over where that piece of armor just went down, and I'm guessing that there's still a sword up there.
Yes.
And I want it to land there so that next turn I can try and get the other 2 with it. So the sword in that square space needs to make a Constitution save throw.
It failed it.
All right. In that case, it takes. Oh. Wow. 2. It takes 2. That's 2d10, by the way. 2d10 worth of damage. That's 2.
It sizzles. It sizzles a little bit.
And the beam will be ready to move. In addition, I produce. I'm gonna stow my shield because I'm pretty sure that I'm safe at this stage, and that'll be it. Because actually I can't stow my shield because that's an action.
You can drop it.
I could drop it. That'll be alright. It'll be alright. That'll be it for me at this stage. Does Store look okay at this stage, like as far as health goes? Been hit a few times. Alright, well,
Yeah.
I haven't taken a
haven't been
bonus
bloody,
action.
but I'm not bloody anymore.
I'm just going to take a bonus action in that case and Healing Word.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure it's just a straight D4. I'm going to cast Healing Word in forever. Let me just check it.
It's a D4.
It's plus the bonus, isn't it?
That's what I'm just finding out. Healing Word. D4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Awesome. Alright, so I heal Store for... That's 7.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so what happens is I mutter something, and the moon, right, it sort of turns, it spins in the air, and another beam of light comes down, and it frightens Store just for this split second because he's like, oh crap, that's been burning the crap out of my clothes. But he just feels like this beautiful warmth over his body, and it sort of invigorates him and makes him feel stronger. And yeah, 7 hit points of healing there.
Yeah, it's my daughter's smile on me.
Yep, that's my turn.
All right. It is now the bad guy's turn. The one knight who is standing will take 2 swipes at Store, and both of them will be a miss. The other knight who is on his back will not stand up, but he will roll around onto his knees, and with disadvantage, he's going to try to attack our monk.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Does the sword count as a ranged weapon when it's floating like that?
As a ranged weapon?
Yeah.
In this instance, it does not.
Okay.
You are hit one time however, and take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
I have AC 18.
Yeah, he rolled over at one time.
Okay.
And at this point, the last 3 swords are all going to dart down and try to hit Store. Miss, and that one will be a hit for 4 more points of slashing damage. And it will now be the top of a new round, but at this moment, the horn blares again, the ones that started the combat, and a voice yells out, one of the judges yells out, "Forfeit." But we're still technically in rounds. Elwyn, it's your turn, so how do you respond?
I am going to... How far away is the longsword floating?
Like 10 feet above the knights, so about 16 feet off the ground. About 10 feet above your head.
Yeah.
You could throw a dart at it.
No, I'm going to jump and grab it.
Okay. Give me a athletics roll for your jump.
Natural 2.
A natural 2. You're going to jump, and your left foot accidentally gets caught on the side of the knight who's next to you, so you can't get up high enough to reach the sword.
Well, I'm not going to do anything else.
Okay. Rylar, it's your go.
I'm still just going to hold my position and concentrate on the Shield of Faith on Elwyn. And looks like Store has everything under control, so
Okay.
That's all I'll do.
Well, Store, it's your turn.
The forfeit, do you know to who?
Not yet.
I'm just looking at the judge, and I gonna body, I gonna destroy one. Is he still prone, the guy, or?
Yeah, there's still one prone next to you, but there's one standing up in front of you also.
But I take the guy that's prone because it's easier to hit.
Okay, yeah, you'll have advantage on him.
Double 9s. That is 15, but I'm sure I'm not gonna hit, so I'm gonna plus a d8 to hit.
Okay.
And that is a 8.
That one would hit.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna roll. This is the damage. I'm gonna 9 damage. 2 of those are radiant.
So how much damage total?
9 and all. Piercing.
Okay. All right, you punch a hole in the armor, but it's still there. It's on its knees.
Yes, sure. And I'm gonna use my second wind to hit.
You're using your second wind?
Second wind, yeah, to heal.
Okay. Now it's our druid's turn again.
Alright, well, I'm not going to move the moonbeam, so if there's still a sword there, it'll need to make a con save.
Okay. It made it that time.
It'll take half damage, which is 8.
It took more half damage than it did the full damage.
Yes.
last time. Okay.
Well, I rolled 17 this time.
Yeah. Okay.
So it takes that, and I haven't moved it, so I haven't used an action. I'm going to take the dodge action and look at the judges and see what's going to happen.
Okay. The bad guys do not seem to have paid any attention to the judges. The one who is prone is going to stand up, and that's all he's going to do. The other armored figure is going to take 2 swings at Store. One of them will hit. Store takes 6 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 swords are going to dart down again for Store. 2 of them miss. All 3 of them miss. And now it would be top of the round. And the horns blare again, and the one judge yells out that Tannister's team side has too many combatants on the field, which is against the rules, and Tannister's side forfeits. Immediately, a lot of the crowd cheers, especially the box where the guild leaders are cheering really loudly, and the wine's already starting to flow as you hear several pops from champagne bottles being opened up. But Ale, when it's your turn, you guys are technically still in rounds. The fight has been called, but you also saw that the armored figures and the swords kept fighting, so it's up to you to do whatever you want to do now.
I am going to vary a blows on the person in front, and I'm going to make him prone again.
Okay.
Actually, I was going to move so I could flank him.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So the first one was 17.
That'll miss. Just barely, but...
Yeah. The second one, that was a 13. So. Oh, and the third one was a 23.
That one hits. Yeah, with a 7, he's prone again.
Yeah. And that's 6 damage.
Okay, you knock another dent in his armor, and this time you hit him forward, and he falls in his face. Rylar, it's your go again.
All right. Since we seem to have this battle in hand, I will drop my concentration on the Shield of Faith and pop another Sacred Flame on the guy that's on the ground.
Okay. So he's got
DC save of Dex of a 13, sir.
He just barely missed it. So he takes damage.
All right. Damage of a big hefty 3 points of radiant damage.
Hey, that's better than nothing.
I have a question. Because he lay down, do you not have disadvantage to hit him?
No, you have advantage to him when he's prone.
No, not with range.
Do what?
With range? Is that not disadvantage to hit him?
No, he's doing Sacred Flame. It's a saving throw.
Okay.
It's an
Yeah.
attack throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah. You
That's
could
okay.
probably mean, does he have disadvantage on a dexterity save?
Oh, well, but he missed it anyway. The Store, it's your turn now. The guy who's on the ground is beat up really badly, but there's another knight standing next to you and some swords still flying around.
I'm gonna ask the judge about can I kill them anyway.
The judge is like, yes, kill them.
Okay. and I'm gonna try to hit the guy that's standing up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hit him with a 2, so
All right. Tyshawn, it's your turn.
just push my bracelets and get more health.
Okay.
And I did a 9 again.
Okay.
Nice.
Now the druid gets to go again.
All right. Well, now that the judge has said that it's okay to continue the battle, that we won't be penalized, I will use my action to move the moonbeam, which means that every combatant or every enemy, because I can move it from here in a diagonal line, I can tag everything. So everything needs to please make a Constitution saving throw.
Also me?
No.
No,
I don't care. I'm pretty good to Constitution.
because I'm moving it in a diagonal line, so you'll not be in that.
What's the DC on that?
13.
Well, both knights failed, or both armored figures failed theirs. One sword made it. Only one sword made the save.
All right. Unfortunately, I rolled low again, so the knights take 5. Anyone that failed takes 5. Anyone that succeeds takes 2. And then has anyone else been hit other than Store?
I've been hit, but not badly.
All right. I'll cast another healing word on Store.
And by the way, one of the swords disintegrates.
That's 4 hit points, Store. Sorry, I'm rolling really badly now.
That's fine. I'm
Hey, it's
only
something.
I'm only like 8 away from my highest.
And at this point, see, right before the bad guys get to go, 4 city guards raise crossbows and fire into the armored figures. 2 of the crossbows miss totally, but 2 of them actually hit. 2 miss and 2 hit. And the figure that is prone is hit twice with crossbow bolts, and he basically cracks and falls apart. Literally, the pieces of armor that are together, once he's hit with those bolts, they just sort of, everything falls apart. And it's a suit of beat-up armor laying there. But it is now the bad guy's turn. So the one armored figure left standing will still take 2 swipes at Store, and he will miss with both of those. The 2 swords that are left flying around are going to shoot down, and both of those miss Store. And top of the round, it's Aelman's turn.
I'm going to jump and try and grab one of the swords.
Okay. Give me an athletics roll.
Ooh. 19 plus 1, 20.
Okay, you're up there. Now give me... basically a 2-hit roll to grab it by the hilt, unless you're just trying to grab it by the blade or anything.
I'm trying to grab it by the hilt.
Okay. Yeah, give me basically a 2-hit roll.
Ooh, another 19, so 24.
Okay, you grab it, and you pull it down to you. You land, and it's with your hand, and it's jerking around. Now give me a basically a grapple roll, like a strength roll.
That is a 7.
Okay, you manage to hold on to it, but just barely. It's like trying to move and get out of your hands. You're just barely holding on to it. Any bonus action?
Store. You said you wanted a magic item. Well, here it is.
Rylar, it's your turn.
Okay. Yeah. Sacred Flame began on the last night. That's still standing.
Okay. He got a 3, so he's going to take full damage.
All right. 6 points of radiant damage.
Okay, he's smoking, but he's still standing. And
Okay,
now,
that's it for me, sir.
Storage your shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop my pipe and take the sword.
You're going to try to take the sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, give me a...
Give me a grapple check. A strength check.
17 plus my... that's 23.
Okay. Elwin, are you going to let him have the sword?
Yeah.
Okay. Sword, you've got this long sword in your hands. It's jerking around trying to get away from you, but you've got it.
I'm gonna hit the knife with it.
You know what? I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you do it, but you're going to have disadvantage with it
Oh, fuck.
because this thing's really trying to fight you.
That is a 9. No, that's an 11, and I'm gonna use my D8 to hit it.
Oh, that's risky.
So that's... What is that? No, and then that's 14 to hit.
That still won't hit it. Sorry. You swing and miss. It looks good though.
Okay.
Now it's the druid's turn again.
Well, I'm going to diagonally back the same direction that I came from. Everything makes Constitution saving throws.
What was that DC again?
13, please.
Probably not the sword I hold, right?
The sword's in your square, so it's not going to be hit.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so everything but that sword.
The armored figure did not make it, and the one sword did not make it.
They both take 7.
Okay. The sword crumbles apart into little rusty pieces, and the armored figure takes some damage. Flakes of metal come off of him.
Can I land it in that square as well, like in that space, so that it just stays there now?
On the armored figure?
Yes, please.
Yes, you can do that.
Good.
Does that mean he would have to make the roll every round?
Yes, if he stays there.
Okay. At this point, before the bad guys go again, 4 more city guards are going to shoot crossbows. Let's see. 3 of them miss and shoot into the sand. 1 almost hits our monk, hits the sand between his feet. One of them actually does hit the armored figure, though, and he takes 4 more points of damage, but he's still standing.
I have a reaction for
Okay.
If a ranged if something ranged is trying to hit me, I can do a reaction to. If something's going to hit me, I can reduce the damage. If I reduce it to 0, I can catch it.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
It wouldn't have hit you, but...
I'm just saying, if something were to hit me, I'm going to react.
Okay, that's fine, if it were to. All right.
I was saying, if a guard rolled a 1 and he accidentally fired on me, I'm just going to try and catch the arrow.
Catch it in the air. Okay. Is now the bad guy's turn. The one armored figure is going to try to take 2 more swings at Store, and he misses. The sword that is in Store's hands, Store needs to make a grappling check because this thing's trying to break away from him. Oh, it did fair.
24.
It didn't do that good. You're still holding onto this sword. It's kind of jerking you around all over the place. Elwin, it's your go now.
The armor takes damage if it didn't move.
No, it takes damage on my turn.
Oh, I thought it
think.
was takes damage on the creature's turn if he ended his
Let me
turn.
let me double check that. Must spells area for the first time on a or starts its turn there. So yes, it would need to make a Constitution saving throw on its turn.
Okay, it did not make it.
So I would do another 2. Oh god, these rolls.
Okay, it smokes a little more. Now Elwyn gets to go.
Yeah.
I am going to flank it and just attack it.
Okay. You'll have advantage.
Yeah, that one misses. The second one was 23.
That hits.
Yeah, since it's just a regular attack, there's nothing bonus on top of it, but it's still 7 bashing damage.
Okay.
And as a bonus, I'm going to heal using the bracelet.
All right. It's still barely standing, but it's looking in bad shape.
Yeah,
Uh,
and I rolled double ones.
Oh. Rylar, it's your go.
Sacred Flame.
Okay.
It's been working so far.
He made it that time, but he still takes half damage, doesn't he?
Not from Sacred Flame.
No? Okay.
Nope. Nope. If you make it, that means there's no damage.
Okay. Well, he made it that time. And now it's Stor's turn. He of the shaky sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna name that shitty short the little bastard. And I'm gonna hit him with my little bastard.
You want to try to hit the armored guy again?
Yeah, with my little bastard.
Go ahead. You got disadvantage with it.
Well, he's trying to hit an enemy that's flanked, so wouldn't it be just normal?
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
I have a 10, and that is 16, and I'm gonna plus a d8. That must hit them. Fuck! 17!
No.
You missed by 1 point.
Fuck! Okay, that's fine.
Now it's the druid's turn again.
Alright, I'm gonna close the distance and try and hit it with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm still concentrating on the beam. Okay, let's see. That would be... Oops. No. Nope. I do not hit it.
Okay.
As a... Are you still hurting, Store? I'm not sure at this point.
No. Not
Okay.
if I will be fully healed if the 8 hours go off. So
Yeah, alright. In that case, that'll be my turn.
Okay. 2 more city guards launch crossbow bolts, and both of them hit the armored figure, and it just like the arrows just tear it apart. And it just crumbles, falls to the ground in pieces. And at that point, you hear someone from the crowd yell out, "No!" And you look, it's Tannister. I called him an attorney earlier. He's actually not. He's a merchant. But the merchant Tannister, he's jumped up in his seat. His hands are raised above his head. They're shackled. And the second he gets to his feet and does that, like six city guards just mob him. They're just on him with clubs wailing. And, I mean, he goes down, like, instantly. And the crowd cheers out. And you guys are out of rounds, other than the fact Store is standing there with this sword in his hand.
I try to make the sword mine. Can I tame it?
No, I don't think you can tame it.
Can I try to
How do you want to tame it?
pet it?
This, well, this is a loaded question.
I'm gonna put it down in my belt and hope it don't attack me.
Oh no! Your manhood, buddy. Your manhood. You want to keep that intact.
I'd say you just have to keep swinging it until you can actually get used to it moving on you.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I'm gonna swing it and I'm gonna perform for all the people in the Crusader how good my sword skills is with a fucking living sword.
You keep trying, you keep swinging with it, and it's fighting you. And after a while, it just stops fighting you anymore.
It's not alive anymore.
Not at the moment. It doesn't seem to be.
Can I knock it to see about a way up?
You can do whatever you want to at this point with it.
I would like to detect magic on it, if I could.
Sure.
Sure.
Yes, there's still magic in it, or on it, or it is magic, however you want to.
Would I be able to tell if it's still bound to whoever created it? I'm happy to make an Arcana check or something.
Yeah,
if you want.
give me an Arcana check.
Since it's a bit unusual. No, I have no idea.
Okay. That's, you can't tell for sure, but obviously that's a possibility, that it's tied to whoever created it.
Cool. I let Store know. And obviously I'm stopping the concentration on the moonbeam, and I look around at my companions and I say, is everyone okay?
I'm great.
And
Never felt better.
At this point, some people are starting to drop down and run onto the field. Pincus and Federo, obviously, it's a joyous occasion. Lots of people are happy. Tannister is beaten into unconsciousness and drug away by city guards to go serve his time in prison, however long that will be. Probably life. And Store, as you put away this sword, you can see in one special box, sort of low down, almost on the grounds, there are a bunch of guys there's like 4 or 5 guys in floppy hats and big white puffy shirts, and each of them is like holding some kind of a roundish wooden thing with a paintbrush in hand, and they're all sitting there dabbing and frantically painting while they're doing something. They're doing something. They're busy.
I'm gonna pose. Superman pose.
And the young bookie Tyler will run out and will give you a sack that has 217 gold and 14 copper pieces in it. And he'll slap
17.
Yeah, and 14 copper. And he'll slap you on the arm and congratulate you and say, "Thanks to you, I'm a rich man now."
Good. That's fine.
And generally, a small party breaks out in the middle of the arena field. Like I said, there's champagne bottles have been popped open and people are passing around drinking and that sort of thing. General frivolity takes place. And after some little, 10 minutes or so, the city guards sort of swoop in and start ushering people off, like, it's time to go, it's time to get out of here. Yeah, I'm done with my shift, I want to go home, you guys leave. So they're starting to get people to go. And Federal will come to you guys, each of you, and will give each of you 100 gold. Still there in the middle of the arena. He pulls out a bag, and from it he gives each of you 100 gold, except for Store, because Store's getting his payment. It's going to take about a week. They're doing the basics of the painting today, but they're going to have to do all the detail work. They'll have to take the painting away to do all the detail work, and then put like a cover over it, and it will be revealed at one point. But Federal will tell you guys that he and Pincus and Adelaide and a few other people from the guild, one, they have to go get Fletch out of jail now, but two, they've also got to go deal with attorneys and sign papers and pay off their lawyers, and they've got to go thank the judges and things like that.
I asked him, is the guild open now?
We have been told the guild will be open by the time we get there. Basically, if we show up, just tear down the sheet of paper and you can go in. The guild is legally open now. For that matter, he'll tell you guys to go on back to the guild hall because a feast is in the waiting. They had a few people sneak in and set things up in case we won, which Federal and Picus knew we would win. They had full belief in you.
I go back to see if someone was foolish enough to try and steal a fighter's stuff.
Oh, you mean the stuff you left in the room?
Yeah.
No, it's there. It doesn't look like anybody's been in there since you guys left.
Okay. So I put the quill of darts in the bag, and I throw the little pouch in the bag too, and then I go back to the guild hall.
Okay. Is everybody else going back to the guild hall, or is there anything else you guys want to do?
On the way back to the guild hall, I put the 100 gold in the bank.
Okay.
So, do I believe this sword is still magic?
That's what I told you.
Yes, it's still magic.
Okay. And I'm gonna yell, who's gonna buy this sword? It's magic. It had been in a fucking arena fight, fighting Stuart and Mehdi. Oh, that word you don't know, but means the mighty. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Some guy who looks drunk, he's carrying around a wooden tankard of ale that's spilling all over us. He's like, I'll give you 20 gold for it.
No.
Another guy's like, I'll give you 50 for it.
You need to go it higher. No. Yeah, I'm doing that then, with my magic sword.
Some guy's like, okay, I'll have to get another mortgage in the house, but I'll give you 200 gold for it.
Oh! Do it. You gotta do it. That's worth.
No, I said no. It's been in my fucking hands.
Okay, this guy, and he's kind of dressed a little nice, not extremely nice like a noble, but he's dressed a little nice. He's like, okay, look, I'll just have to pull my kid back and put him in public school next year, but 300 gold. I'll give you 300 gold. Okay, and the wife is just going to have to go without her breast surgery next year. 350. I can do 350.
My God.
You don't have a place I to live? I need a place to live. Yeah, I got 350. That's okay.
350?
No, 500.
Oh!
Oh! Oh! You extortionist!
Does this go against his good alignment?
Yeah, probably. No. I'm
I,
the
I don't,
stuff.
he's just selling something. I don't know why it would go against his good alignment.
Hmm.
I'm gonna say, if you give me 450, I'm gonna use the 100 gold to the poor people in the city.
The guy's like, screw the poor people. I want the sword.
It's 450.
375.
Okay, that's fine.
400.
Yeah, sure.
400.
Yeah, 400.
Okay. He calls somebody over, and they talk for a second, and he takes out 400 gold. It's like a big bag of 400 gold, and he gives it to you for the sword.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, make sure you're gonna hang it up somewhere is secure, so they don't kill you.
Oh, don't worry. I'll take care of this. Come on, let's go. We can sell this for 1,000 gold. And then he and his partner run away.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
And are found murdered later in the night.
By the sword.
Exactly. Exactly. Unless they sell it quick. Okay, so what's everybody doing now? Are you guys heading to the guild, or I know Elwin's going to the bank first.
And then over the next few days, we hear rumors about if you go into the forest, there's rumors of a sword wandering around. No wielder, just a sword.
Decapitating people.
Would the type of magic that I detected in the sword would that be like unusual to us, or would that be something that we would expect?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm a curious sort. Like inquiry and curiosity are things that I, are pillars, like, for me. So if it's something that is a bit unusual, I would probably spend time going to the local library or something like that to see what I can discover about that form of magic. But if it's something that we would just be like, oh yeah, it's just normal magic, then
Magic that's usually done to enhance a weapon is, it's the enhance, it's enhancement school. Usually, that's the only type of magic that's used. But if there was a different kind, then it would be unusual.
yeah. So I'd probably go to the library and see what I can discover about it. I don't need a result from you, but
Okay.
like occasion feels like I feel like we've done our job, we've been paid, we've survived, and he's just curious about what this magic was all about. So we'll go and study it.
Okay. I can give you a little bit real quick now. It was just so he would know. It was a transmutation type of magic. I'll just say he learns this from his studies. And it was a form of, it was kind of, the sword is not like, the sword is a separate being or a separate entity from the armored figure. It wasn't like the armored figure was using and controlling the sword. They
I
were
thought
each.
the sword controlled the armor figure.
It wasn't that way either. They were both separate entities and pretty much the same type. It was probably some kind of like the basics. Something that would probably be familiar to occasion would be like an animate object spell, but it was probably something he can't find exactly. But it was probably something like an animate object spell, but more powerful, like maybe a ritual. Or maybe at the basis of it, it was animate object, but it was empowered somehow.
Awesome.
So basically, it would you take a suit of armor, or you take a sword, you do animate object, and a couple of other magical things to it. And this is something that would take a little time, but not an extremely amount of time. You could a powerful mage or spellcaster could probably do one per day, give or take.
All right. Could I maybe roll a history check to see whether I can find records in the town of a mage that would be capable of doing something like this?
Sure.
And how much it cost? Just
It would depend on the wizard, how
yeah.
much he was charging for the spells.
So would be 14 on a history check. It's okay if I don't find anything. Like I'm just asking.
No.
This is like a bit weird. So
No, I know. I'll say that there's nobody specific right now that I can think of. Pincus might be able to do it, maybe. As far as like a powerful enough spellcaster, there's probably an option, 4 or 5 different individuals that you could sort of think of off your top of your head that, oh yeah, they could do this or they could do that. None of them offhand are people you can think of that would be in league with the forces of evil necessarily.
okay, well,
You know,
that's really good information. Thank you. Occasion would then come back to the guild and would just briefly summarize what he's found. But other than that, that's about it.
okay. Does anybody else want to do anything before heading to the guild hall?
How long the time is before the feast trying to start?
Basically, when everybody shows up.
Okay. I'm gonna, yeah. I promised to feed the poor people, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go to where the food. Not an expensive place, but like a decent place, and I'm gonna order food for 80 gold and feed the people.
Okay.
Is 80 gold enough to feed the poor people?
Oh, that's a lot.
80 gold will feed a whole bunch of poor people.
Yeah, we gonna do that.
Like the southern half of the city probably will eat today.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
that. Are you going to a restaurant or like a store?
I cannot cook, so a restaurant.
Okay.
Or inn or whatever.
You can find some place that'll take the money for it, but he'll tell you, he's like, this is so many people that we're going to have to feed that he goes, I can take your money and do this for you. I'll just say it's the head chef or whatever, but he's like, I'm probably going to have to get like help from other restaurants to do this, because this will feed a whole bunch of people.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, you leave him the money, he'll take it, and I'll just tell you in days to come, he didn't rip you off. You definitely hear about all this food that was cooked and taken.
And sprayed my name.
And they'll thank you. And as Store is walking to the guild, little kids will be coming up to him asking for his autograph.
I'm gonna sign it on gold piece.
Well, you get 6 little kids wanting your autograph, so you're giving up 6 gold pieces then, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. I haven't got a gold, so.
Okay. And you guys get to the guild hall, and it's open for business now. There's definitely a long table full of all kinds of food and wine and some other liquors, and ale, and Federo and Pincus and other guild leaders are still not back yet. They're apparently very busy, but there are a number of people here, mostly sort of like servants. Most of these people you would have seen at one time or another. They're helping set up the food and stuff. Out front in the guild hall is there's kind of a crowd of people, which is very different than the crowd that was there last week who wanted to burn the guild hall down. These people are most of them are getting drunk and yelling and how much they love the guild and this type of thing.
So we should get drunk. I also get drunk then.
You can if you want to. But as you all show up, one of the servants comes forward and compliments you on the day's battle. That's one. But there's a gentleman at the back door who wants to speak to the four of you who were in the arena today. And all of you would probably know that the back door actually opens onto another road. Some of you snuck in the back door last session, if I remember correctly. That door connects.
And I think I know who's knocking at the back door.
Okay.
I go to the back door, expecting to find an half-orc that's trying to hide himself in a cloak.
You would be wrong in this case. That's a good guess, though. You open the back door, and standing there is an older man. He is in a cloak. And, yeah, let's see. Our monk would have definitely run across this guy a couple of times before. He was the one who was at the farm, and he was paying off people to riot in front of the guild last adventure.
As soon as I see him, I grab him.
Okay. Give me a grapple check.
Uh, 17.
Strength-wise, you should have had him, but somehow or other, you reach for him and your fingers like slip through his clothing, and he jerked back and pulls away from you. And we need to go into rounds all of a sudden.
Oh.
I'm still getting drunk and try to flirt up some girls because I'm sad. I have no family.
Okay.
So, how big is the guild, and would the common room be anywhere near the back door?
It would probably be about 100 feet away. There would be
there's
a couple
no
of,
way I'm gonna know what's going on.
depending on what happens and how loud it gets.
All right.
But then again, I mean, when you were told there was somebody at the back door, I mean, you know that Elwyn went off to the back door. So.
All right.
You know,
Oh gosh. Well, this will make sense in any case.
if all four of you want to be back there, that's fine with me. Though Storr said he was staying up front getting drunk.
Yeah, I try to flirt up with girls to find a wife.
I would just be like floating around and like.
Pretty drunk. I say pretty drunk. I'm so sad because I have no mother, no wife, and no one knows what happens in the night.
Can I ask whether we've had time for a short rest?
Yeah, you have. You went to the library and stuff like that. I mean, it's probably been 2 or 3 hours now or longer since the fight. Let's see.
Okay, I'm gonna recover. Hang on. Do I need to? I have to communicate. Is there any like park, like a park area in town, like where there's like trees and shrubs and things?
There are.
Or is that only outside?
No, there's some parks within the city.
Okay. Could I argue that I spent an hour out there?
Sure. I'll let you
All
have
right.
that.
I'll get a second level spell back. That's all. Or 2 first level spells, whichever I prefer. I might get 2 first level spells instead.
So is Storage just going to get drunk?
Yeah, I tried to flirt up some girls. The pretty
Okay.
girls.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Before the party got going, I meditated for 30 minutes before I joined everyone else just so I could refresh myself.
that's fine.
Yeah.
It's
And
going to. Go ahead.
and maybe I disappoint that get married in the night. I don't know. Do I
If
need
you,
to? I roll
uh,
a percent die. If I roll over 50, I don't get married to one.
it'll take more than that. We'll maybe deal with that after the fight.
94. I rolled. So I probably pretty much married. That's okay. That's fine.
If you can find a girl willing to take you, or a guy, whatever your floats your boat.
No.
Uh, okay. He, or actually they, get to go first, and since the sort of grapple of him failed, he backs up into the street, like a full 30 feet, with his hands up. And suddenly, stepping into the doorway from the side is a familiar half-orc, not the one in the cloak, but he's a really big half-orc in chain armor, and he's carrying a battle axe. And he's got a really big really big grin on his face. And Aelwyn, he's going to take a swing at you. And I'm afraid with the 23 he's going to hit.
Well,
for 5 points of slashing damage.
yeah.
The good news is it's now your turn.
Yeah, and I still haven't got to my original hit points yet. I'm still on 1 point of bonus HP.
Okay.
And I am just going to attack him.
All right.
First one's a miss. The second one's a 22.
That'll hit.
For 5 damage, and I'm going to expend a charge.
Okay.
Yeah, I used it 2 times. Both times were double ones.
Oh.
That puts me back up to 30.
Okay, it's now Rylar's turn.
All right. See, it's going to switch things up here. I am going to use Guided Bolt, and I'm going to actually burn a first level spell slot to increase the damage. So hopefully I hit, so I don't
Okay.
don't waste it. So all right, roll the hit. Yeah, I wasted. I roll 8.
So you missed.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How badly did you miss?
Well, the total the hit was an 8.
Oh, okay. So bad, but not. It hits the door frame next to Aelwyn's head, and there's kind of a little explosion, splinters of wood. And now it's our druid's turn.
All right. So how many? Can I only see the half orc at this point?
Probably, yes. You see this big half orc just outside the door, Aelwyn just inside the door, and Aelwyn got hit.
All right. 2 seconds. Yeah. I need to see. And there's no allies outside the door right now.
And if you want to move through my square, you're more than happy to.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a chance. Oh, the other guy, the one in the first one, he backed back 30 feet, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I might not do that yet. All right. What am I going to do? I guess I'll cast Magic Stone.
Okay.
And that's a bonus action, and as an action I can throw one at this half-orc. So I'm going to throw one at this half-orc. Basically what it does is I will shape a small moon in my hands, and then I shift my hand ever so slightly, and it sort of creates 3 replicas. So there's 3 moons in my hand. I throw one, and it glows in the air, sort of flying through the air. And I make an attack roll.
Okay.
See if I can hit him. And that is a 19 to hit him.
That will hit.
And he takes 8 magical bludgeoning damage.
Wow. He actually staggers a little bit from that.
Yep. That would, and I'll just sort of move up closest as well.
If you get directly
not into melee, but just.
Okay. All right. Well, Store's off getting drunk, but you can probably hear some of this going off in the background if you want to start running in that direction, or not. You could keep getting drunk.
Oh, wouldn't it be a free action to yell out, "Hey, there's people at the door attacking us"?
Yeah, you can do that too.
I'd go there with 2 mugs of beer.
You do what?
I'd go there with 2 mugs of beer.
Give me an initiative roll so I'll know where to fit you in.
5. 6.
Okay. All right, it's the top of the round, and the bad guys get to go this time. The half-orc will start laughing, and he's going to take another swing at Elwyn with his battle axe. And that'll be a miss, and his axe swings into the side of the door and chops out a piece of wood. The human that's out in the road is fumbling in his robes for a second and brings out... Ooh. He brings out what appears to be a little clay ball and throws it. And at first it kind of looks like it's being thrown at Eowyn, but it's not, because it misses him, and the little ball goes into the room. And you guys can see it. It's about the size of like a golf ball. And it hits the floor and cracks. And as soon as it cracks, a just noxious green gas spews up out of where it landed. And I need everyone to make a con save.
Ja, jag känner att jag vet ju. That's it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I got 11.
That's good enough, actually. You only have to
21.
That's good enough for sure. Good enough.
13 for me.
Good enough. None of you guys are affected. You only had to get an 11 or better, but it's just nasty smelling. You're like having to fight to keep from retching. And for like a second, you almost can't see because this stuff spreads out so quick and it's so thick. And then on the other side of the room, you can see there are now 4 figures standing there as this green gas starts to dissipate a little bit. They're short figures. They're only about 4 feet tall, but There's 4 figures standing over there. You can't quite make out what they are yet, see the details of them, but you do know they're short. And you just sort of see dark, shadowy outlines of them. Ellen, it's now your turn.
I am going to Fury of Blows to push him 15 feet.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit?
No. Almost, but
Then none of them hit, so he doesn't do anything because I never touched him.
okay. You just sort of, your fist just hit against his armor. Rylar, it's your turn now.
Well, looking at my first mistake, I almost
Actually,
blew my teammate's head off.
after I do that, I'm going to do a move action. I'm going to move around him to the other side of him.
You can't really do that because you're standing in a doorway.
Uh,
I mean, if you're wanting to go through him, you can
Can
try
I
to do
do
that.
acrobatics to get through him?
Ugh.
I'll let you try it, but he's going to get an attack of opportunity on you at the very least.
Yeah, I knew he was going to attack. I just want to try and get on the other side of him so I wasn't blocking the door.
You can fail. I mean, if you fail, you're going to be stuck where you're at. But
Yeah.
okay, go ahead and try to do it. I'll have him roll against something.
I got 22.
Okay. You can slip past him, but he's going to try to hit you with his axe while doing so. And he will hit you for 8 points of damage.
Okay.
But now you're outside the door and at his side. And now it's Rylar's turn, and you've got a direct line of sight to this half-orc.
Okay, am I close enough to move in melee range?
You can if you want to, yes.
Okay, drawing a mace and attempting to whack him.
Okay.
I'm assuming a 21 will hit.
That will hit.
Alright, and damage is, oh yeah, a blistery 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
He has a new bruise.
More like a mosquito bite. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Now, Storr walks into the room with 2 steins of ale. And there's 4 short, shadowy figures over in a green mist. There's a half-orc who just got whacked standing in the doorway of the medical center that's named after your mother, by the way, Storr. There's a fight going on.
In where?
This room where you're at is part of the medical wing that's named after your mother.
Oh. When
In
I
fact-
figure that out, and
in
I'm
fact-
gonna.
There's a painting of her on the wall staring at you.
Yeah. I'm kind of sad and be like, Ma, you don't need to see me drinking, and I'm gonna throw one of the cups of beer at one of the green ones.
Nice.
At one of the short guys.
Yeah.
Give me a roll to hit.
Eight plus I'm gonna use one of my D8 to hit. 14.
That actually will hit. Roll that'll be an improvised damage. So roll a d4.
7 damage plus my strength. Probably use strength to 7 beer damage.
You hear a thunk followed by an ow,
But how? And then gonna throw use action shears and throw the other one.
Okay. At the same figure?
Yeah, sure.
Give me a
That
roll to
is,
hit.
how much did I roll before? I don't know, 50?
Okay, that'll
Straight
hit.
up. Yeah. And I'm gonna, yeah, got it. I'm gonna disarm him if I have any weapon.
Okay. So you're disarming him with a thrown beer mug.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll damage.
10.
You hear another crunch, another ow!
Okay.
The druid gets to go now.
Alright, so I am going to see that there's this area of green gas where these 4 things have appeared, and I will like twist my fingers and I'll like flick them towards this gas, and I'm going to cast Fairy Fire, so they all need to make dex saves, please.
Okay.
And this green gas kind of is now illuminated by moonlight.
Okay. The best.
So,
One of them got a 15 and another a 13.
so those are saves.
Okay. The other 2 did not make it.
So the ones that didn't make it are glowing with moonlight. They're luminescent, as if they're standing directly under a lamp, and we all have advantage against attack with attack checks against those 2. The other ones are unaffected by it, but those 2 we have advantage.
Okay.
Let me see if there's anything else I can do. So that's one action. That's pretty much. I think that's all I can really do. Actually, I will start shifting as a bonus action. At this point. It's not shape changing. I'm just shifting. Basically, what that means. What do I want to shift myself as? Can I see these small things a little bit better now that they're sort of at least 2 of them are illuminated? What do they actually look like?
Yeah, you can, since they're illuminated now, you can see. There's enough light you can see all 4 of them. They're about 4 feet tall, and you almost assuredly have never seen anything like this before. They kind of look like pigs, like big hogs, on feet or on legs. The legs do end in little hooves. Their arms are kind of short, but end in little claws, and their heads definitely have a piggish look, snout, and sort of folding ears. But even worse, overall, their body, it almost appears like they're made out of half-melted wax. Like their flesh is just kind of drooping in places, and they're just really nasty to look at. They're kind of greasy, slimy looking, and this green gaseous mist is, you can tell now, is coming from them, actually.
Okay.
They admitted this.
Okay, so that's awesome. I'm gonna shift into a hairy, boar-like, skin, and my face doesn't really fully change because it's not like an actual shape change. It's just a shift. So I start to take on some of these features of like a tusked boar. Some of my teeth grow a little bit, just ever so slightly, and I get this bristly boar fur all over me. And for the next minute, I've got a few extra temporary hit points, and I've got advantage against wisdom saves, whatever that, if there's any of those. But yeah,
Okay.
it just looks a little bit different.
Okay.
It's my turn.
It's the top of the round. It's now the bad guy's turn again. Outside the door, the half-orc is going to twist around and slice his axe towards Elwyn. That's another 23, so that'll be another hit. And he does a total of 12 points of damage. And at this point, the human in the cloak who is outside, he's going to yell at Elwyn. He'll say, "You think I'm just some merchant stooge? I'm not. You haven't even seen my powers yet. I'm a priest of Darzan himself, and now you get to feel the Dark God's wrath." And he's going to cast Sacred Flame at Elwyn, who needs to make a dex check. As this smallish column of flame comes down from the heavens in the monk's direction.
21.
Well, that's definitely, you beat it. So you sidestep this fire and it hits the ground next to you and leaves a little black mark. Inside, our four piggy friends are going to snort and oink, and suddenly all four of them are going to charge forwards the boar, the great big boar that is in their midst.
Yep.
So they're running at him, and they each are going to make a bite and a claw attack. What's your armor class now?
I have a shield, so I'm 15. The buckskin's no longer a thing, so I'm 15.
Okay. Hold on. We're stopped there. Well, with all those rolls, 2 bites and 1 claw attack get through. So the bite does 2 points of damage.
Oh no!
And the claw attacks do a total of 7 points of damage.
Pull up, okay. So
And these,
yeah, that's fine.
These are just little bitty guys.
Yeah.
And now it would be Elwyn's turn again.
I'm going to say to my companions, if you guys can heal, I could really use some healing power now. And I'm going to expend the last charge on the bracelet.
Okay.
This fight between the pigs and the druid will go down in history as the battle of bacon.
You've seen nothing yet. Wait till I shapeshift.
Yeah, there have been tankards of beer thrown already and everything.
I'm going to expend a key point to try and knock the orc prone.
Okay.
Since he's flanked, I get advantage.
He turned to face you.
Yeah, but there's someone on the other side of him distracting him.
Okay, go ahead.
17.
That'll hit.
11.
Was that damage or the hit?
That was the hit. I'm
That'll
rolling.
miss.
And 21 will hit, so 2 out of 3 hits.
Okay.
He has to make a dexterity save of 13 or he falls prone.
He makes it. So he doesn't fall prone, but he does take the damage.
He takes 10 bashing.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Oh, you already used your bonus action.
Yeah.
Rylar, it's your go.
All right. Hearing the Elwin's saying, he needs healing, I will move over to him and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, you can kind of reach out the doorway and touch him.
All right. And he receives healing of, oh wow, nice, 4.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, I know. And that'll be it for me.
Store, you're out of beer.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Do I have my kite on my bed inside the fucking killer?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I thought it too. So I take my data with a golden tilt. I found it last event I was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
Who are you attacking?
What?
Who are you attacking with it?
The pork. We need some bacon.
Okay.
that is around 24.
That'll hit.
And I'm gonna prone him.
Okay.
So I can do that. 9 damage?
9 damage? Well, that's actually enough because he'd been hit by a beer stein, and your dagger just like impales him in the head between the eyes, and he sinks down, and he's done for.
Good.
Okay, Druid. Oh, you have a bonus action?
And I cannot use that to anything. Yeah.
Okay.
It's my turn.
All right.
So something I forgot was that I needed to make a concentration save. I'll just make that now.
Okay.
Oh, so the fairy fire's down.
Okay.
Okay. Because I failed that big time.
There's enough light you can still see them now.
Yeah. So we don't have advantage, which is annoying. All right. So on this turn, I will. I'm in melee now, right?
Yes. With 3 little piggies.
3 little piggies.
Melted piggies. They're half cooked already.
All right. I'm just gonna drop. I'm just gonna drop the magic stones and interact with my quarterstaff. So I can pull that out. I can. Let's see. Or he probably still needs healing. I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Healing Word for 7 hit points on you, Aelwyn.
Yeah. That's really good.
Then let's see. Great. Sorry. Or is it just called? Where is it? There it is. That's a concentration spell as well. I got so many bloody concentration spells. What am I gonna do? I've got an action. Gosh, I don't know. I'll just try and hit one. It's not probably going to end well because currently I don't have Shalala up. So I'm just going to try and hit one.
Okay.
That is 12.
That hits, actually.
Oh, yay. So I don't have Shalala up, so it's 1d6. And I've got -1, so it's 1. 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like my melee fighting capability when I've not got Shalala up is pretty much nil.
You tore his ear a little bit as you were swinging.
Yay! Yeah. And then I squeal at him a little bit, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. Well, it's their go again. You still got 3 little piggies on you,
It's
and
fine.
they're going to make attacks at you. So 3 bites and 3 claws.
All right.
Let's see. Your armor class is currently 15.
Correct.
Miss, miss. Hit, hit. Miss, miss. So one of them gets through with a bite and a claw. So let's see. The bite does 5 points of damage, and the claw does 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Now outside, the half orc is going to no, first the human. No, the half orc is going to take a bonus action and heal himself up a little bit, so he looks a little steadier on his feet. And then he's going to take another swing at our monk friend here, and that will be a miss. And the human is going to cast another spell, and this one on the monk. Elwyn, I need you to make a wisdom savings throw.
Ooh, that is a 6.
Yes!
Well, unfortunately, he was casting Hold Person on you.
So,
So
There
unless,
goes my plan to disengage and rush the caster.
unless you have some kind of immunity to Hold Person, you can make a roll at the end of each of your turns, a wisdom roll to try to beat that. So it would be your turn now.
I can't do anything besides make a save.
Yeah.
Which is a 13.
You actually beat it. So for like 2 seconds, you were frozen. But at least it stopped you from inaction. Rylar, it's your turn.
okay. Man. Okay. So looking over at Elwyn, is he still looking bad, or is he okay? He's like really hired a lot of hatred from this half orc and the human. So how's he looking right now?
Well, I'm in bonus health right now.
He's in pretty good shape.
Okay. All right. So I will attempt to. I'm going to swing at the half orc. No,
Okay.
actually, you know what? I'm going for the caster. He's causing problems.
Yeah, but he's not. He's 30 feet away from us.
Oh crap. Okay.
Yeah,
So
he's out in the middle of the road.
okay. All right. So swinging at the half orc with my action, and I'm going to use a bonus action to cast spiritual weapon and attack the half orc along with that. So
Okay.
Nice.
here's a roll for the actual hit, regular hit on the half orc. 13.
That will miss him.
Okay, and
His armor absorbs it.
Okay, and spiritual weapon roll. Shoot, that's worse than the other one. 10 for that one.
That will miss. And what kind of weapon is it, by the way?
What the spiritual weapon?
Yeah.
It's like a mace.
Okay. Yeah, so it appears and swings at him and misses. Um, Store, it's now your go.
Yeah, I miss a two-handed weapon. I'm gonna take the little pity up and try to swing with him. He might count as a two-handed weapon, right?
Okay, it's an improvised weapon.
But it's two-handed, right?
It can be, yes.
This is ridiculous.
It can be a two-handed weapon.
Okay, I don't want to do that then. I kind of drawn, so it's a 16 plus 4, that's a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
What is the damage dice on that?
For a dead piggy,
Yeah.
a D4.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll. It's a 3, and yeah, it's just like 7 damage.
Okay, you hit one of his buddies, and he's like, "Bob hit me." Okay, our warthog from hell gets to go now.
All right. I think I have to cast Shalala here. I don't really want to because I still got plenty of hit points. So yeah, I'll cast Shalala and I'll try and hit one.
Okay.
That is 16 to hit.
That's hit.
So that's 4 because I rolled a 1. 4 damage and it's magical bludgeoning.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That is all I can do.
Okay. On their turn, one of the piggies is still going to attack the druid, and his bite will get through for 4 points of damage.
That's fine.
But the other two are going to switch and attack Store, so they'll try to get through. That's a miss and a miss. And a miss and one natural 20. Wow. You get bit, Store, for 12 points of damage.
That's okay.
Wow.
And outside, the half-orc is going to also switch, and he's going to swing at Rylar with his battle axe. God, that's another natural 20.
Wow.
For a total of 11 points of damage.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for those temporary hit points.
And at this point, by the way, people along the streets have been seeing this going on, and people are running and screaming and yelling and that kind of thing. And at this point, the older cleric, who is standing out in the middle of the road and has a magical mace floating around him, he's going to turn and run. So I'll give the mace an attack of opportunity on him.
That's very generous. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Rylar?
Yes.
Yeah, make an attack of opportunity with the floating mace on the guy.
All right. Will it be at advantage?
No, not at advantage.
Okay. That will be a 14.
That'll actually hit.
Alright. Damage of... Ooh, max damage. 11 points of damage.
Okay, it hits him pretty good across the top of the head and leaves a line of blood, and he takes off running, dashing at full speed away. Elwyn, it's now your turn. And he ran away from you, obviously.
So he moved 30 feet away from where he was before. Then he moved 60 feet, which means he's 90 feet away from me, right?
He moved 30 and 30.
So,
Just 60 feet away from
so
where he was.
he's 60 feet away from me?
Yeah.
I'm going to use a key point to get a free disengage.
Okay.
Then I'm going to dash in front of him with my 90 feet.
Okay.
And then I tell him, I told you, wherever you run, I'll be there before you.
Nice.
You have anything else you can do?
No, I used my action to dash.
Okay. Well, Rylar, you've seen this happen. It's your go now.
Okay, so the half-orc has run away.
No, not the half-orc. The human ran away.
Okay, the human. Okay. Focus attention on the half-orc and try to take him out. Hopefully I can hit him. All right, right with mace hit. That will definitely hit. That's a natural 20.
That's a hit. That's a crit.
All right, damage for that will be, holy crap. That's 13 points of damage with that.
Okay.
And
That hurt him.
attempting to hit with a spiritual weapon. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay, and damage from that is 5.
Okay. Yeah, he's looking real bad right now, but he's still standing up.
Okay, and that's it for me.
Store. You still got 3 little piggies inside.
I'm gonna hit the one I hit last time.
Okay.
Success plus 4 plus a d8. That is 15.
That'll hit.
And a d4 damage. That is 7.
Okay.
Hit damage.
He's still standing, but he squeals.
Yeah. And I'm gonna use a bonus action to get the second one.
Okay.
Man, talk about some tough bacon.
And that is 12. So I'm at...
Our druid gets to go now.
Hopefully I can finish one of these things off. So I'm gonna continue to try to attack with my shillelagh.
Okay.
Oh man. Nope. As a bonus action, I will press one of the gems and heal myself
Okay.
for 9. Yeah, unfortunately, rolling a 3 to hit is not good. All right.
All right. It's the bad guy just goes again inside. 2 piggies are going to attack Store. It's a miss and a miss. And a miss and a miss. And 1 piggy's going to attack the druid. And that'll be a miss and a miss. In the doorway, the half-orc's going to... The half-orc is basically going to disengage. He's going to back up. He's disengaging from Rylar. He's trying to back into the street. And the cleric will suddenly look at the monk and say, well, yes, you might be in front of me, but how long can you stay there? And he casts a spell, and a bolt of magic shoots out of his hands.
Which, would you classify it as a missile?
No,
Okay.
not something you can catch. He's going to miss anyway, so it'll hit the ground, the road behind you. And that's his action. So now, Elwyn, it's your turn.
And I am going to punch him.
Really, really hard.
Okay. I got a 24 and an 18.
Both hit.
Nice.
13 points.
Of damage?
Yep.
Okay. He goes down. He drops like a bag of potatoes.
I throw him over my shoulder, and then I go back to the guild.
Okay. Rylar, you're standing in the doorway, and the half-orc just backed away from you into the street, so it's your action.
Okay, pressing the attack on him.
Okay.
See if I can hit. All right, regular swipe. No, that's messed out. That was a 10, and for spiritual weapon, and that's another miss with a 6.
Okay. Inside store, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to hit the same pig.
Okay.
There's an 18 plus 4 is 22,
That'll hit.
and it's a 1, but it's the two-handed weapon, right? So you roll that. So 6 damage.
Well, he goes down. It's dead. And the druid again.
Alright, continuing to try and attack with my shillelagh, because that's totally what I'm good at. Oh, this time I'll hit. That's a 21.
That's a hit.
Sweet.
And that is 7 magical bludgeoning damage.
Wow. Okay. It is now the bad guy's turn again. And the cleric is unconscious and over the monk's shoulder. Inside, real quick, there is a puff of this green, noxious vapor again in the air, and the last two piggy guys just vanish. They just disappear. They are no longer showing there. They don't seem to be there. Outside, the half-orc is going to disengage again from Rylar and try to back up. And this time he's kind of holding one hand up, and he's holding his axe up, and he looks at Rylar and says, "Look, buddy, if he's down," and he points to the cleric on Elwyn's shoulder, he goes, "If he's down, I don't get paid. If I don't get paid, I'm not fighting. There's no reason for us to fight anymore. I just want to get the hell out of here." And now it would be Elwyn's turn if we're still in rounds.
Okay.
Then I go up behind him and say, "That is for the city guard to decide, because you just came out of nowhere and attacked us in city grounds, which means it's a city guard problem."
I'm hired to be that guy's bodyguard. He knocked on the door. You opened it up and grabbed at him. I was defending it.
That's because he's wanted by the city guard, same as you.
Why would I be wanted by the city guard? This guy just hired me as a bodyguard. Have you ever seen me attack anyone until now? You think about it, you haven't.
No. Well, it's more of guilty by association because we're turning him over to the city guard who's looking for him, and he announced in the middle of the street that he's inclined with an evil god, which you're saying you're in line with him. So
I was hired by him. And if you notice, right after he yelled that, I tried to back away.
Didn't stop you from attacking, though.
When I was being attacked.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Well, then go. We're handing him over to the city guard.
That's fine with me. He starts backing away.
Yeah.
He gets about 30 feet away and goes, I don't suppose I could have his change purse, could I?
I think that's city property. You'd have to bring it up with them.
Okay. He turns and takes off running. After a bit, keeping his eye on you.
I'm not going after him.
And even inside, unfortunately, the piggy that Store was swinging around, it has disappeared too. All the dead piggies are gone.
All right.
And we're out of rounds.
Well, the first thing that Cajun would want to do, as soon as he sees these pigs disappear and we're out of rounds, he would want to grab whatever, I don't know, a vial or something like that, and see whether he could, like, gather any gas residue. I don't know how, but I mean that's what he's going to try to do.
He can try, but it's pretty much just sort of drifting away into nothingness.
Yeah, I figured that, but that's what he's gonna. That's what his reaction would be. To try and gather this.
I will give you this. On the floor where the pig monster things were, there is kind of a little bit of slime on the floor here and there where they were moving.
Oh, can I grab that?
Yeah, you can get some of that.
I'll make a survival check. Yeah.
Okay.
I go in and I try and find the squire to tell them we need the city guard down here. We're having a situation and we need to hand over someone they've been looking for.
Okay. He'll rush off to get somebody. And in fact, it doesn't take them very long to show up because with all the commotion in the street, there were already a group of city guards headed that way.
And I'm pretty drunk, so I just finished was an illusion of my drunkenness, and I go back to drinking.
Are you still looking for a woman's store?
Yeah.
Give me a charisma roll.
Hey, remember, I just won a tournament.
You did. You
Is
did.
that advantage?
I'll give you advantage. Yeah, you were the big hero today. Why not?
What do you want, a charisma roll or... I don't have anything there. That is
A persuasion roll?
17, I think. Intimidation is 20. Probably
Yeah, it's also illegal. So you used persuasion. What was your roll?
17.
Yeah, you can. She's not interested in marriage, but you can find a bar when she's working part-time at parties like this one who'll she'll go home with you for the night or whatever.
Okay.
But if you start talking about marriage and stuff, she's going to run away. You're going to have to do better.
And then to marry her. That's easy.
You're going to have to do better in a 17 and a persuasion roll to get married. But you could try the intimidation.
Time and effort, man.
Well, that's true too. Or a really desperate woman.
Or just sew my purse. 500 something gold.
All right, the city guards show up and take away. His name is Camus, by the way, and they'll take him away and thank you for not only that, but for all the help that the guild has done for the city of late. And sorry about your troubles. And they're doing the paperwork right now, but Fletch is getting out of jail and should be here by morning. Eventually, Federo and other guild leaders show up, and some other guild members show up for the party, and you guys get plenty of slaps in the back and things like that. And for all intents and purposes, the adventure is done unless there's something you guys want to do. There's something your characters want to do.
Well, between this session and next, I want to go to, I don't know if there's like an alchemist or something in town. I want to take this slime and see if they can identify it for me. That's about it as far as I go.
They will, yeah, and your character will find out that it is not of natural origin, that it is of demonic origin.
Yeah.
And that they really don't want this stuff around, and you can have it back.
Thank you.
Rylar will just be kind of chilling out at the guild, and when the druid comes back, he's leaning up against the wall, just standing there, and the druid walks by and he says, "I know that we have our different divine faith, but we are divine brothers in our gods. I'm proud to call you companion." And he takes off his gauntlet, and reaches out his hand to shake his hand.
Oh, I'll totally shake your hand and I'll say, you fought bravely and honorably. It is my honor to call you a companion and perhaps a friend, if fate sees it fit.
And the next day, you guys will hear about a wealthy merchant in town has been arrested after he sold a sword to a friend of his for 1,000 gold, and then the sword murdered the guy in the night.
Oh, man.
Nice. I love it. Great game. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're pretty much done. I'll take it off live. Everybody in YouTube who has been watching or will be watching in the future, thanks, and hope you enjoyed it. We'll watch some more.